We got a special guest in the house tonight. Zach and I have been trying to work this out schedule-wise. It's really been our fault, not Cade's whatsoever
Yes.
at all. It's been our fault, not his. So you can blame us for the delay. But we got the Bayou Bambino himself, Cade Beloso, in the house. Zach, bring him in here. Round of applause. The Bayou Bambino. I can't even spit it out. The Bayou Bambino himself. Cade, how you doing, man? There it is. There it is. How you doing, man? Good to have you on.
Man, great. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. And look, I had to make it clear, like it was us. It's not you. I mean, we probably could have had a show, like a week or so ago on a Monday.
I blame Reagan. I don't know about me. I blame Reagan. He's the one that was like, "Hey, I can be there," and then he's like, "Hey, just kidding. I'm not gonna."
Yeah. Look, we had like a 9.5 hour trip from Destin, Florida, back home. I mean, we're pulling out like 8:30, right? And you think, okay, we'll be there in time. Well, when you got a 3-month-old, it doesn't work out that way, okay? and it didn't help that I got pulled over also. So the trip got delayed a little bit. Yeah, so I apologize. But we're here, and we're really glad to have you on, Kay. We appreciate you taking some time out of your day to hop on and do this. I mean, you've been kind of a hot commodity here lately. I mean, this is what, your 4th, 5th show now?
Man, it's been a wild 3 weeks, but in the best way possible.
Oh, of course. I mean, it's all great stuff, and I mean, your story is something that LSU fans will talk about for a long time. I mean, a story of resilience and perseverance. A hometown Louisiana kid who just wants to bleed purple and gold, and I mean, you gave the LSU fans exactly that. I mean, Cade, come on. I mean, seriously, like I know that like just sounds crazy, but like you are. I mean, you will be. I mean, especially after game 1. So to kind of start our we got a few questions we want to ask you, obviously, and discuss a few things. And that kind of leads to my first question, Cade. So correct me if I'm wrong, Cade. Correct me if I'm wrong. But you had 2 walk-off home runs in your career, correct?
No, just one.
Just the one. Okay.
Freshman year, week 1.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, it was my first game ever
against Army. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, so I was trying to count the game 1 walk as like a walk-off, but now I realized that was the top of the inning. So, Cade, I mean, walk us through your very first game as an LSU Tiger. You hit a walk-off home run as a true freshman. And in your super senior season, game 1 of the World Series, you hit the game-winning home run in the 11th to make the score 4-3 against Florida. What is that feeling like when you hit that home run?
Yeah, obviously very good.
Yeah.
Getting to play in Omaha with some of your best friends is one of the coolest things in the world. And, even just being there as a fan and, like a family member of the team, support staff, it's so cool, man. And it's such a special place and, something that I think everybody should get to experience at least once. And hitting a homer there is something you dream about as a kid.
Yeah.
Backyard playing wiffle ball with your buddies, and it's 3-2, and we're in the World Series, and when that really came true, that was pretty special.
Yeah. Pretty amazing, man. I mean, I can tell you for sure. I'm living in these college apartments, and I have one wall between me and other people. I guarantee you, every one of them heard me that night when you hit that home run. Every single one of them. Me and my 3-month-old had a mini celebration in my living room. So
good, love it.
Zach, what you got?
So, Kate, I mean, by that point, you had been in the starting lineup. You were an everyday player then. By that point, on the starting lineup, early on in the season, you got a lot of pinch hitting opportunities, and you made most of those opportunities. And I got to be honest. Listen, Kate, I was for you, bro. I was one of those guys early on. I was beating that drum. I was like, we need Cade Beloso in the starting lineup. Like, get him in there. I trust Jay. I trust Jay completely.
Yeah.
But I was like, we got to get this man some more ABs. Like, he's killing it right now. Every time he comes in, he gets a hit. Like, put him in the starting lineup. And so, sure enough, Jay Johnson does that, and I'm like, let's go. And it was just the rest is history, right, for the rest of the season. So, what was that like early on, coming into the season? You know, obviously, kind of being a little bit on the back seat, but getting several opportunities. And you knew Jay was going to do that with this team. There's just so much talent, so many guys to get ABs. What was that like early on as you were just patient and waiting your opportunities?
Yeah, man. I mean, it was fine. You know, it was nothing I wasn't, prepared for. I was coming off a whole year of being a great teammate and only watching baseball games. So I kind of knew how to handle it in a weird way. But, I mean, yeah, I didn't start the first 20 games of the season. But, if you would have looked at the way Jared Jones was hitting at the time, I would have started Jared Jones too, man. He was playing incredible. And he's such a good player, and he's going to have a long career. But yeah, it wasn't my time. He was raking, and then, I was going to get some chances, and then Tommy White gets hurt, and he was out for a month or so, however long that was. So I just kept being patient, kept working, kept being a good teammate, trying to make everybody around me better, and I knew my time was going to come eventually, and just be ready for the opportunity when it presented itself. Yeah, but I think when you're not playing, it's easy to get in your own way and stuff like that. But
for sure,
yeah, man, just work really hard to be a good teammate and keep getting better every day. I mean, I wasn't playing great leading up into the season, not like I was at the end of the year. I was still fresh off a knee surgery, trying to figure out it again and trying to get all my power back and stuff like that. And I wasn't ready. I wasn't where I was halfway through the year, even at the end of the year.
Yeah. So Cade, a little bit on that injury since you brought it up. I mean, what was that like? I know 2021, it wasn't the season you wanted.
Right.
I mean, a lot of expectation for you. I mean, your freshman season was amazing. Obviously, 2020 was what it was. Season was cut short. 21 didn't go the way you wanted it to. And then, man, 2022, it's like new coach. He's worked with you. We're hearing all these things, and you're in the lineup, man, and you tear your ACL. In the pregame huddle, it's like I'm not gonna lie. I was heartbroken for you. I really was.
We were,
and you were done for the season. I mean, I saw your video. I think it was with the SEC Network, posted it on their social medias and whatnot. Just about. Mentally, how do you kind of stay in the game? And obviously you were also, before this season, considering kind of hanging it up and moving on. So, how did you deal with that injury? And then ultimately, what led to you coming back and deciding, okay, I want to stick with this team? And then, I mean, how does it feel now that you did make that decision, considering what happened?
Yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer when you look at it from now. But
hindsight's kind of 2020, right?
Hindsight's kind of 2020. But yeah, I mean, it was and a lot of people talk about you thought about quitting and stuff like that. It wasn't necessarily that I was ready to leave the game of baseball because I sucked or whatever. I just didn't know if I was going to be the same player after that.
Right.
And it was a 2-day span where I was just questioning myself and questioning everything, and snapped out of it. A lot of talks with support staff around me, and then Coach Jay, and ultimately God, and it just was a no-brainer to come back to LSU. Thought I deserved more than to end a career in college like that. So yeah, that was really all that went into it. But yeah, man, it's been a roller coaster for 5 years here. Had a great freshman year, and great sophomore year. Was off to a really good start, and then the pandemic happened, so that was weird. So I'm ready to get back in the swing of things, and the ball's not falling for me in 21. I'm hitting balls really hard and just getting to a big slump, and I'm like, all right, now I'm going to show everybody, prove everybody wrong. New coach, swing is feeling best it's ever felt. We have a really good team. I feel like I can make a positive impact, and just seeing all the pieces. Opening day, I'm batting behind Cade Doty and Jacob Berry. both are going to play in the big leagues here shortly.
No doubt.
Feeling the best I've ever felt, and then God throws that at me. So it was a curveball for sure, but nothing I couldn't handle, and I found out a lot about myself, and a lot about the people around me.
For sure. Well, I mean, we're obviously thrilled that you came back, and I mean, what a story. And that's what I mean, like, that will go down in the history books, Cade. I mean, that is a story that Tiger fans will remember forever.
No.
Right.
The pinnacle of perseverance, and obviously we appreciate your faith and I mean, leaning on the Lord, in a time like that, man. I'm a pastor, and I don't know if my faith would have been strong enough to endure that. I'd have been like, man, I'm done too. So I applaud.
It was kind of crazy. It was kind of crazy, man. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, but
no, you're good. You're good.
It was kind of cool, but we were, as soon as I had found out the injury was going on, blah blah blah, and I had a lot of stuff going on off the field too. And, I had two major things happen in my life I'm not going to bring up, but
sure.
Kind of like the third thing in a row. I'm just looking around. I'm like, man, I don't know how much more I could take either, but just going to church and reading the Bible, really ultimately saved my life, and got a couple people to thank for that.
That's amazing.
It really, in a way, saved my life. This injury was one of the best things that's ever happened to me. And people look at me like I'm absolutely crazy when I say that, but
no.
Changed my life for the better.
Well, God likes to do that. He likes to take terrible situations and turn them for the better.
Make it something amazing. Yeah.
You may not come back for this season if that doesn't happen, right? We don't know.
Right. Yeah. Coach Jay will tell you I'm probably not coming back.
Right.
Probably looking at other options in baseball, stuff like that. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but
sure.
I was playing really good at the time, and everything was clicking in the right way. And but I mean, God wanted me back this year for whatever reason, and it turned out to be really cool.
Amazing story, man. And I it gives me chills to think about that. And I was getting chills when you were kind of talking about that. I mean, just faith and perseverance. Amazing story. So on a little bit more of a lighthearted note, so man, we have heard all of your years at LSU from Ben McDonald and Lynn Rollins in the booth talking about your dad's Creole seasoning. Tell me a little bit about that. And I mean, is it really that good? And if it is, where can I get some?
Yeah, he has a little seasoning / sauce business that he does, and it's pretty good. You can get it online at hotrodscreole.com. It's a little website. He's got a bunch of different products that a lot of people in Louisiana like.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're into good food and stuff like that, he runs a little business.
Absolutely. I am into good food, by the way. I am. Yeah. Zach, go ahead.
Well, following that lighthearted lighthearted line, Cade. Listen, so I've listened to a lot of the podcasts and shows you've come on. So Anthony Ronaldo, you went on his show not long ago. I heard you mention, the whole ESPN ordeal with Paul Skeens telling him how he outworks.
That is hilarious.
That was a great story. I heard the other day when Trey was sharing when they were at Canes about how Thatcher ordered DoorDash and it was Rhett Lauder's DoorDash and he just ate it. He just took it. I was like, this is great. So on another lighthearted note, I got to pull this up. I don't know if you've been asked about this yet.
Right.
You might have been, and I just haven't seen it. But I got to ask. Let me go ahead and pull it up. Let me just go ahead and pull it up for us.
Oh, he's definitely
I got to ask about
definitely
this
seen
video.
it.
Okay. I've seen it, yeah.
You've seen this video, okay? Let's see what happens here.
Rocking that hair, man.
Yeah.
So you kind of get Gavin there. I got to know, Cade, what kind of happened in that situation there? And I want to know, did Gavin say anything after? Did you see the video after? Did you go back and talk to Gavin, or did Gavin go back later and talk to you about it? I just got to hear. I just feel like it's a funny story.
Yeah, man. In the moment, I literally couldn't feel my body. So much adrenaline and
yeah.
Kind of one of those blackout moments where you don't really know what's going on. One of the coolest moments of my life just happened and couldn't feel my body. trying to sit down and, calm down, talk to
sure.
Gavin. Gavin's been my best friend for 5 years, one of my favorite dudes I've ever met. And just drinking water next to him, and I guess I just missed my mouth.
The aim was just a little off.
Aim was just a little too down. I was trying to watch I want to say Paxton Kling was batting. So I wanted to watch Paxton's at bats.
Yeah. Got a little distracted.
Got Gavin right in the eye, and apparently he didn't like it.
I saw him retweet the video. I think it was SEC Network also retweeted or posted that. And Gavin quote tweeted it and said he didn't even apologize.
Yeah, I really didn't. I was like, dude, I don't know what's going on, man. He thought I did it on purpose. I was like, dude, I would never squirt you an eye on purpose.
That's great. Yeah.
It seemed like there was a lot of moments like that in Omaha. I mean, genuinely, it felt like it seemed like y'all had a great time and enjoyed yourself on top of the success.
Yeah, hands down, the best year on a baseball field I've ever had.
Yeah.
Shared a lot of good moments with a lot of good people, throughout the years. Nothing compares to this. I don't think nobody deserved it more from a team standpoint. We earned it, man. Nothing was handed to us. It's not like we had a cakewalk SEC schedule or
no kidding.
Easy postseason schedule. We went through the gauntlet, and that's what makes it so much sweeter is knowing it was earned. Nothing was given. But yeah, just wouldn't rather do it with any other group of guys. Just I'm gonna talk to these dudes for the rest of my life.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, Kay, I am kind of curious. Obviously, in your tenure, I mean, you went through the coaching change.
Mm-hmm.
Legendary coach Paul Mainieri. I mean, Hall of Fame coach. And then you transition to Jay Johnson, and second year, dude gets a national title. I mean, what was that transition like between Paul and Jay? And no knock on Paul whatsoever by any means, because he's a Hall of Famer. But what about Jay brought that immediate success? Like in his coaching, I mean, what was it like? Because it just feels like he is on top of everything and really aggressive. So, I mean, what was that transition like, and maybe why the immediate success with the coaching change?
As soon as the word or the name Jay Johnson gets thrown out, the term that comes to my head is just relentless. He's just relentless in everything he does, coaching, recruiting, developing, winning. He's the most driven person in the entire world. And especially in the sports industry, nobody wants to win and, have more fun doing so than him. Wow. He's so easy to buy into, and, I would die for that man. He's given me so much, in my life, and, just stuff I'm going to take with me for the rest of my life and stuff like that, life lessons, etc. And, so glad that, we got him a national championship, because he deserves it more than anyone.
Absolutely. Sure. It was really special to see the pictures with Jay and Paul too. I love it.
Like, Jay tells me to go to war with him tomorrow. I'm ready to roll 5:30 in the morning. Where you need me? It's awesome. That type of relationship.
Awesome. Yeah.
Well, to wrap it up, Cade, what does the future look like for you, man? We know you had to hold off a wedding, so we know that's coming up here soon as well. But what does the future look like? Is there still some baseball potentially involved, or what does it look like for you? What are you looking to do?
Yeah, man, I think I'm done playing. Got a couple calls in the draft, but nothing really went through, stuff like that. But yeah, man, I think I'm done playing, and
it's a good way to go out.
Yeah, went out the best way possible, man. Have no regrets, and it's been fun. Been different, but it's been fun. Seeing the other side of life without sports. But yeah, man, just probably find a job, get my 401k rolling or something like that.
Right.
Play a lot of golf and spend some time with a lot of time with friends and some family.
Yeah. I mean, I can only imagine like what that kind of transition is like. Like you just came off a national championship, now you're like, oh man, like I need
what do I do?
Get married and get a job. And it's kind of hard to come down, come down from that kind of like emotional high. I mean, wow, I couldn't even imagine, man. But
yeah, I mean, it didn't feel real for about really 2 weeks, and finally now, I think we're 3.5, 4 weeks away or whatever it is. It's finally starting to settle in.
Yeah,
everybody going their own ways and stuff like that, and which sucks, but it's good at the same time. But the first weekend we was like, oh, I feel like we have another series to play this weekend or something like that. You wake up at like 9:30, like, oh, I missed something.
What's next?
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
it's finally starting to settle in.
Yeah. Unfortunately, times of life, they come to a close, and man, what better way for this chapter to close in your life?
Yeah.
With a super senior season, and considering all that happened in your time here, and to top it off with your closest friends, in Gavin and other guys as well. To top it off with that, I
was talking to Renato about this and on his podcast, and he was a little jealous because he was like, man, like in 2009, we didn't get the cool videos and the cool pictures like you guys.
Social media wasn't big.
Yeah, we got very generic stuff. He brought it to my attention. I didn't even think about it, but he's like, y'all get to relive these moments like almost like you're there again with just the media now, and the type of angles, the videos and stuff like that.
Dude.
So that's pretty cool.
The NCAA has all 3 games. Full games on their YouTube channel. I mean, you can go watch them right now.
And compared to 2009, you can pull up like some highlights from game 1. Right. I struggle to find game 3 highlights. Yeah,
I can tell you exactly what happened in that game.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because man, how old were you during that game? Because I mean,
the same age as me.
9. Yeah, I was
9.
Okay,
so, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. I remember it very well. I saw an interview, just to kind of, we're kind of rambling now, but dude, I saw an interview. I think it was something, may have been Omaha or, anyways, but somebody was interviewing you, and they asked you about what it was like to grow up and wanting to be LSU Tiger, and it was just crazy. You named like Mason Katz and some other guys, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is who Mikey Matook and Jared Mitchell, and I was like, man, these are guys we grew up watching and who made us fall in love with LSU baseball, and like now, like we, you, Cade Beloso, here you are. I was just thinking, like, man, it's got to mean everything to him. It's got to mean everything.
It's true, man. Like, I mean, I'm not just saying that to say it, and
for sure.
My goal is to inspire the next generation and stuff like that, and the generation after that. But it's 100% true. I don't really watch a lot of TV, but I like YouTube a lot at night and stuff like that. And I'm watching YouTubes of the 2009 National Championship Series, and I'm seeing Ryan Schimpf hit the ball over the yard. Jared Mitchell's triple still gives me chills to this day. And Mikey Matook's flying around the field, and Renato's striking out dudes with fastballs at the top of the zone, and like that's what I wanted to do, and that's where my love for LSU baseball really, really took off. And Matty Ott's coming in with a slider, mowing people down at the end of the game. Like that's what I wanted to be.
We literally have Zach. We literally have pictures from the 2009, maybe in like 2010, the season after, in Oxford with like Matty Ott and Chris Cotton and I'm like, little 9-year-old Reagan, and Zach's little dick of 13-year-old, amazing stuff. And here we are, 2023, we finally get another national championship. So man, congratulations on everything. Congratulations on an incredible career. We're really glad you get to go out on top, and from LSU fans all over the world, thank you for everything you did. You will be remembered a long time. I mean, seriously, names like Mikey Matook and Jared Mitchell, Cade Beloso is up there, and this was an amazing season. It was everything we could have ever wanted. So,
for sure,
appreciate your time, Cade, and we really appreciate you coming on and taking time. You've been fantastic. But we'll let you go. We went a lot longer than what we had originally told you, so kind of expected. But anyway,
no, not to say apologize at all.
Thank y'all for having me. Y'all have a good rest.
Thanks, Cade. Have a good one, buddy.
I'll be tuned in for sure.
Awesome.